The worst terror attack since September 11 happened last week at America's largest military base, Fort Hood. And we're all wondering what was the tipping point that turned suspect Major Hassan into a mass killer. We talked to Dr. Chris Warner at Fort Stewart to find out the appropriate action for the Army to take right now.
No faith justifies these murderous and craven acts. No just and loving God looks upon them with favor. For what he has done, we know that the killer will be met with justice in this world and the next. These are trying times for our country.
I think we definitely can say that we are an Army under stress. The Army Chief of Staff himself said that several years ago, and that's why emphasis has been placed on looking at the issues of multiple deployment, focusing on dwell time, trying to make sure that when soldiers are home, that there's being emphasis placed on having them spend time with their families so that they can continue to make memories and have those for when they are deployed.
So how is this recent incident going to affect Fort Stewart?
I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
This is still a matter that's very much under investigation. Until all the details come out, I don't think we can draw any conclusions at this point in time. I think we just need to make sure we're reassuring all our soldiers and military family members that from the behavioral health community, we are committed to providing care to both our soldiers and our family members.
Okay. According to CNN, the suspect, Nadav Hassan, had been trying without success to get out of the Army and was fighting his deployment to Afghanistan. But the Army would not have let him go after paying for his medical education. So there seems to be many red flags that were missed here. Why didn't nobody see that perhaps this man needed some help? What kind of red flags do you look for here at Fort Stewart?
When we talk about issues from a behavioral health standpoint, are you noticing changes in their behavior? Are they not doing activities they used to like to do? Are they having problems when you get into crowded areas? Do they suddenly feel the need to have to carry weapons or have a gun with them all the time? Those would be some of the key red flags.
It seems like the military is under a lot of pressure with all the deployment to Iraq and Afghanistan. So how does the Army prevent provider burnout?
A discussion sometimes about secondary fatigue, or sometimes called compassion fatigue, that people get from interacting with these soldiers that have been combat wounded or hearing their stories over and over. And the big key is that we have to talk with each other. In a psychiatry residency, you're encouraged to have a mentor.
How does the Army detect people under intense stress before they deploy?
That process, and each soldier before they deploy from here is screened to ensure that they meet those criteria, that they don't have an active case of bipolar disorder or psychosis, that they're not on medications that would put them at risk or put their fellow soldiers at risk while they're deployed, and that they're not unstable or have had recent changes in their medications that could make them unstable before we deploy them. So,
is there enough providers to take care of everyone that needs help?
Over the last year, we've more than doubled the behavioral health services here at Fort Stewart, hiring additional psychiatrists, psychologists, and social workers to increase the resources that are available. The bottom line is we want them to get help, and we want to make sure it's easily accessible so that when people make that tough decision to say, okay, I need to go out and be strong and ask somebody for some assistance, that it's there and it's easy to get into. Because I feel like we're able to make a difference, and that we're able to help soldiers not only now, but we're making a long-term impact for them and their families as we're really growing and paying attention to these hidden wounds of the war.